in League of Legends right now. And they do have a very short-range composition. If Hanabi gets towards that 2-3 out mark, he's going to have himself an Azir. You know, they can turn the lights out with Nocturne, the big flanks that come in. Hanabi not known for his team fighting at the moment. This is a guy that they prefer to leave out on an island and split push, but can now, in this draft, group up with their team. If TL don't get a massive early game advantage, the late game scaling out of Flash Wolves right now is a big advantage.
I will say though that TL, if they do get the early game lead, they have options to be able to split up the map. With an Akali and a Gangplank, you could look to play on its side lanes. And I do think that with an Akali, she can very easily hold her own against a Vladimir in the late game. It's a bit of a skill matchup because you can obviously hit a lot of those abilities through the Shroud, but still, I'm quite excited for this game. I think that the early game has no clear favorites right now.
No, not at all. I mean, draft-wise, obviously leans a little to Team Liquid, but they need to execute on the draft. Both of these teams qualifying through the MSI play-ins knockout stage, and a lot of pressure on both the LMS and the NALCS. And welcome back to the Flash Wolves taking on Team Liquid in the second game of the MSI group stages, which is obviously taking place in Hanoi in Vietnam. Interesting draft, not one we were anticipating or expecting, but now the onus is on Team Liquid to step up and not let this Vladimir Azir Kai'Sa get to the late game.
Kane said in his interview that he wanted his team to play faster at this MSI.
So he looked for a bit of an invade. And Trundle can be very effective early. Traces, we see a fight in the bot lane.
All right, Betty's already flashed, and now Shall C forced to flash as well. Xmithy got that pillar of ice. That's going to block out the Justice Punch. Got interrupted as well. And Shalcy's able to escape, but for the exchange of an Ignite for 2 flashes.
Yeah, great pressure exuded on the bottom lane there. You can smap against Gangplank is a danger.
Yeah, I think Team Liquid's very aware of the potential gang. If we spotted it in the VODs, it's very highly that Team Liquid spotted it in the VODs. And here we see the ulti. It's going to happen anyway.
Well, there we go. Just before 8 minutes, but the damage is so high. Now Flash Wolves are on the retreat. Needs to find the stun. That's Betty locked down. He's got no flash, remember. First blood picked up by Core JJ.
And whilst they do it all the time, it doesn't always make it correct. TL scout the play, Impact drops the ult, and they get the kill. Betty can be enacted here to continue to secure farm.
So here we see Xmithy. He's trying to clear out a ward. Flash Wolves think that they've caught him out of position, so they go for the all-in. But the immediate follow-up from the bot lane of Team Liquid means that they can go for the 3 versus 3 now. In all honesty, I don't think that should have...
You can see right now they are once again going to have to play on that back foot.
Now, I appreciate the observers highlighting where the goal differences lie. You can see that while the Flash Wolves bot lane is struggling, Hanabi is still doing well towards the top side of the map. He's built up a pretty healthy CS advantage as we see a gank in the mid lane.
All right, Emperor's Divide does not push Jensen forward. Paranoia has already been used. Rather is going to be saved by Boogie. Now, Impact is... No, sorry, correction. Jensen was backing away.
To be a counterpunch from the Flash was no pulling out of the play. So now they've got themselves a 30 CS lead. Play onto Rather again.
All right, there's the Paranoia. Boogie's going to be trying to help out Rather. That's a dash forward there from Jensen. Boogie's going low and a double lift. That gets on the board. Second kill of the game and the first for Dia.
And Liquid just playing this game on the front foot.
It's kind of an advantage. So I think this is a big mistake from Rather and Boogie. It looked like they were trying to answer towards the bot side, but the reality was their bot lane was pushed underneath their tower. Team Liquid was naturally going to have a numbers advantage. So trying to...
There is why we talk about mid lane priority. The fact that Betty had to show on mid lane, Double Lift was able to duck into Fog of War meant they get to start up the Dragon for free, see whether the fight comes.
Jensen's making his way up from the Tri-Bush. That's the Paranoia already thrown down. Dragon is now being interrupted and the teleport comes up from Impact. Impact finds himself in the middle of the melee. He's in trouble. The second Infernal is picked up by Xmithy. Now Core JJ is backing away. Emperor's Divide throws Team Liquid aside. Jensen is on to Betty. Putting the damage down as Shalcy is already out. Jensen finds the second of the fight and now Boogie's running for his life on the wrong side of the rift. Hanabi gets tagged by a Winter's Bite and will pick up Xmithy with at least a transfusion. The stun comes down and Jensen picks up another.
They get the Dragon, they get the kills, and TL now in...
And collapse on the Flash Wolf.
Yeah, feels like the ready check just wasn't done. Who has stopwatch? Who's got the defensive item? Because he teleports in an awkward position. He immediately drops ult. Stopwatch is away, still has himself the defensive item of the Hex Trinket as well. You can see that Flash will split across terrain, can never get 5 members together. and TL just start walking over
And I
them.
think that's the biggest thing, Spawn. The fact that Flash Wolves initially looked like a cohesive unit, all grouped up, they then immediately split apart. Akali, Lucian, this is their playground. Oh, 2v2, 3v3, small...
Exactly how they want to close out this game.
And take a look at this. Very confident call here from Team Liquid. As the teleport is going to come into the Baron pit, CoreJJ steps forward. Reminder of how different CoreJJ has had an impact on Team Liquid. He has the fight set up, not going to go just yet. Shalcy's instantly blown up. CoreJJ manages to find the kill.
And this is perfect, excuse me, from Team Liquid, because the worst case scenario for Team Liquid is they're grouped up in a small Baron pit, allowing this full wombo combo.
Himself on the international stage. Hold that for the fight.
Well, he's got another opportunity. The taunt will come out from Xmithy. Look at that pillar of ice. Jensen goes all the way back in. Rather is chunked so low. Shalcy goes down as Jensen finds yet another kill. Hanabi forced a proto belt to safety. And of course, the Shalcy once again going down. TL are using Baron as a perfect bait.
Well, honestly, this is just great use of vision control because they have so much vision in the river. It means that Flash Wolves have no idea what's going on. They've abandoned the bot lane completely because they've ran out of teleport. So they've just been awkwardly dancing around this objective, looking for something to get them the way back into the game, and Team Liquid don't give it to them. The moment they overstep, they punish them.
It's the pace and just shuts you out.
And of course, the question we're going to find out as the day plays out
Desperation here.
is whether or not it's going to be quick enough. There goes Boogie, he goes in. Hanabi completes the TP, and this will be just in time for the Guardian Angel to come back up. That's Hanabi already down. Shalcy's running for his life. Jensen dashes all the way in, waits for the taunt to come out. He turns his attention over to Rather. Rather escapes with his life for now, burning down from the Ignite. Double F takes the tower. I think the Ignite takes down Rather. That is 4 members of Flash Wolves down.
Perfect team fight from the side of Team Liquid. Flash Wolves went for the desperation play. They knew they were going to lose this game, but it was not enough. 5 members still alive. Team Liquid looked to get their first win of MSI.
And you could see they got the pieces together, but they could not make it work. TL will push the Nexus.
Yeah, Betty's going to get jumped on for the time being. Jensen fancies himself a dive. Not right now as the Nexus is being focused. The North American LCS team, Liquid, will take down Flash Wolves to open up MSI groups. What felt like a slow start ended in the complete opposite. From Baron to finish in 2.5 minutes, it was decisive, it was clean, and it was all Team Liquid.
And keeping the average game time below that 30 minutes. Whilst we keep saying slow, methodical, as you mentioned, as soon as they get the advantage, they are confident enough to push for the end. Flash Wolves didn't throw the same punches as Fongvu, but it looked like they had equal opportunities to win this game because it was a shutout.
I mean, what for me really stood out is that when Fongvu played against Team Liquid, there were moments where you were like, oh, if Fongvu executed a little bit better, maybe they could have actually pulled out a win or two against Team Liquid, maybe. But here,